I did not expect that. My good friends, let's all applaud for that guy! You are welcome here to this most hallowed of places, the sacred amphitheater of our people, where for countless generations we meet once a year to celebrate the festival of the 12th moon and implore the goddesses and gods for a bountiful new year. Let us then attract the attention of the goddesses and gods with the sound we know they love the most. Another unwarranted, excessive round of applause! My friends, we gather here in this most enlightened, technologically advanced age of human civilization, here in this age of bronze, where our lives are made convenient through fascinating new inventions such as the bronze-tipped sword and digging tools, the plow with which we plow our fields, the wheel. I mean, the wheel, right? The wheel is like the best thing since a loaf of bread. But, my friends, in order to truly appreciate and honor the present, we must never forget the past. And so we gather here each year to tell our stories. The stories of our goddesses and gods, our heroes and our monsters. Stories that not only seek to entertain and enlighten, but challenge us to think deeply about life's most interesting and important questions. From where did we come? Why are we here? And where do we go? But of course, with so many stories to tell, we could never tell them all. However, there are some that are just such a favorite of mine, I at least want to remind you of them, even though we won't tell them tonight. For example, the famous story of the great hero Quag, who went off into the forest and discovered that amazing thing. You all know the story. On the count of 3, shout out, what was the amazing thing Quag discovered in the forest? 1, 2, 3! That's right. Oh, and how about that beautiful story of what little Hermione found when she looked in the well that day? On the count of 3, shout it out. 1, 2, 3! Yes, that's right. Oh, and who can forget the story of the crazed monster who lived in the trees? You surely remember the name of the monster. Shout it out on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3! Just the name strikes fear in my heart. Well, as I said, we won't be telling those stories tonight, but we'll be telling a host of others. And how can we do that without a band of merry storytellers? My friends, I give you our storytellers! And so, we begin at the beginning. Our first story of the evening, the creation of the heavens and the earth. Now, as you all know, it began in the time before time, where 2 gods floated in the ethereal mist. And of course you remember what it was they were discussing. On the count of 3, shout out, What were the two gods discussing?
Just talking about
Dinner.
They were discussing dinner.
Well, son, what shall we feast upon this evening?
Well, I went to the mist that way, and the mist that way, and I found nothing.
For indeed, at this point, nothing existed except the two.
Nothing seems to not satiate my appetite. We must have something.
Yes. Perhaps if I collect the mist, like such, I take it here, into this well.
The well of nothing.
There,
Something!
it's a grain of rice. That one was for me. No matter. I shall create more.
I've never seen such a thing happen. Son, you have quite a gift for creation.
Here.
A handful of rice.
Yes. Oh.
The rice was dry and uncooked. And they thought, this could be better. And one of them had the idea, maybe some heat.
Perhaps applying heat will increase its flavor.
And at once, fire was brought into the world in order to cook the cosmic rice.
Oh, it's crispy now. It snaps, crackles, and pops.
I am inspired by our new ability to create. Let us create more and more.
Yes! Here, hold this. This rice, it needs something to flavor it, so I shall gather the mist and sprout things from this spot here.
And up from the ground of nothing, there were stalks of vegetation.
And beneath the stalks, large, flat areas of grass, and so the earth came into existence.
There, I shall take sprigs and add it into the well. There we are. Ooh. Here, have a taste.
It's miraculous. But I say, instead of always having to create fire from scratch, let us have a large source of heat, always with us.
And thus, a giant volcano appeared on the surface. But much to their chagrin, the volcano erupted, and they were at once encased in the hot lava. As they sank down and down and down beneath the surface of the earth. What became the underworld?
Son! What would be this place? I see no light. I do not see you.
Oh, I fear we're trapped here now.
I hear your voice.
They were filled with a sense of doom in the darkness.
Yes.
They knew the place was not like the earth they had created, but was something far more treacherous.
I hear the footsteps approaching. Oh, a dim light. A light of darkness.
Oh, he sounds as if he ate some of my dry rice. So we are at the upper realm there, where grass grows.
Yes, I know. I have waited long for you.
Waited for us? I thought we were the only two beings ever to be.
I existed before the time before the time. And I was planning to rule all of existence when I deemed to create it. But while I napped, it seemed you to trespass on my mists of nothing.
It was not intentional.
I don't care!
Well, this god of the underworld slept and napped,
there was another deity high above in another mist that existed before. This deity was a woman.
Just then, the deity going to visit the other deity crashed into the tree and broke it, causing ill fate.
My bush.
This tree was the first thing I ever created.
I've trimmed. It is true that these two deities indeed had created trees before the other deities created the bits of vegetation.
Did you not laugh at those that were making rice without water?
How could I laugh at them, for I made them?
Oh, that's true. It was I that was laughing.
And I made you too.
Oh.
Did you not realize? All this time, these eons of nothingness, that we were together, did you ever think where you came from?
Well, I thought that was before and after. No, I suppose I didn't think about that. Where is my metacognitive thinking?
It was just at that time that the great goddess above heard the cries of her children in the underworld.
Children!
Let me take your bush. You must go to them.
Oh, you! Well. Oh!
You're not doing much to them.
You have robbed me of all my power. I don't believe you have the nerve to show your face down here where you consigned me so long ago.
Well, after you had the nerve to hit on the other goddess, what was I to do?
That's right, for he was the second creation of the first and true primordial deity.
I have spent a near eternity trying to forget you, trying to think of some way. One day I might earn your forgiveness, and you and I might rule together again.
Do not listen to a god that abuses children.
They're not children in the actual sense.
That's
They are
true.
gods, after all. You know, I made the nothingness because I wanted nothing to remember you by. And yet, I wanted you to suffer. And that's why I put you here, in this dark pit of despair.
And so I have suffered. Is there no room in that divine heart of yours for forgiveness?
What have you done to earn that forgiveness?
I made something. I made this sculpture of you.
That doesn't quite look like me from that angle, does it?
It was a long time ago. You don't like it. I have not earned your forgiveness. You wish to turn this into an eternal war, then, do you? Don't you see, now that there is an earth, there is so much potential for us.
Potential to create more,
Yes,
to rule it.
yes.
I do like the statue. Let us try. A trial, not a separation, but coming back together.
Yes.
We'll give it a shot.
Do you want
For the
to?
kids.
Do you want to move into my place, or should I come up to your place?
I do not wish to be in this hellhole.
Then
Father! Mother, we have been listening. And I hate that we've been lied to. We thought that we were the only ones, the only true gods, but you both lied to me. I will not stand.
Something you must learn, son. There is always something you don't know. As much as you seek out enlightenment and intelligence, as much as you think you learn, there are times before times before times. And your life is a constant journey, not to discover the answer, but to discover the next question.
No, I am the answer to my own question. I will rule this underworld here.
Oh, no. Son, please. I'm sorry I never said hi. It's just, you were doing so well there, alone in the nothingness with your friend.
You're not a true
Right?
god.
My other son, sorry.
You're asking me for forgiveness?
Yes.
No!
We're getting back together. It wasn't your fault that we separated.
No. I will rule this place, and there's nothing you can do about it. I've made my decree.
Son, learn from my mistakes. There is nothing here for you.
We can make it out of the void, as I've made rice.
Yes, we have power to create just as you. We are in your image, and therefore we're equal, if not better.
And such begat the first war between the gods.
Come, we shall at once to our palace in the sky.
Brother, forgive me, but I had to do it.
I do forgive you. And now, we have this land below for us. I mean, why do they play these games with us? We thought we were the first, and they keep creating things that came before. It's very perplexing.
But we will create things that will now come after, greater things.
I like this line of thinking. Perhaps we can create greater than just morsels of rice. Perhaps living creatures.
With our combined power, let us create a new world. Swing your hands in a circular motion.
And at once the surface of the world above was populated with all the animals. In the beginning, all they could do was travel in a circular motion. But then the gods worked that out. The animals walked as you know them today.
I shall place a celestial orb there to balance out the motion.
Yes,
That was the sun.
that is much better than a giant volcano.
Yes.
And I shall place one of my own in the sky.
And that was the moon.
And together we will now create new life that will worship us as true gods.
Seeing these new orbs from above in their place in the heavens, the two before gods decided to make something a little more spectacular.
My dear, it seems that the children who have turned against us have created all that needs to be created. Great oceans and animals, the sun, the moon, and the stars in the sky. But I have an idea. We shall create an animal to control all the others and thus dominate them.
Yes. I'm thinking something small with scales. A lizard.
Yes, a lizard. And this lizard shall poison all the other animals and prevent them from speaking to each other. In fact, turn them against each other so that they will eat each other.
I love it. This is the energy we need.
Yes. And thus I create a lizard. Yes, my friend. Go down to the other animals and cause them to hate each other. Yes. At once he was on the surface, surrounded by the other animals.
Hello, scared fawn. Do not be afraid of me. I am your friend. You should fear the hawk, for the hawk can fly. Don't you wish you could fly?
Why, yes, I have often wished I could fly.
But it was unfortunate she could not, because just at that point, the hawk dove down from the sky and devoured her. But the lizard's work was only just beginning.
Yes. Hello there. How are you? Scared creature, do not be afraid of me. Don't hurt me. I am just a little lizard. Oh. You are just a small mouse. Oh. You should fear the mighty lion. Oh. Snare him in his teeth. Oh, thank you for protecting me.
But the warning came too late. At once the lion pounced upon the mouse and devoured it.
And thus, as is today, animals wish to kill each other.
But my dear, I fear now we still need some type of creature that can rule the others and make sure that everybody fears only us. I have an idea. Imagine with me, if you will. Imagine a creature that stands erect like us. Well, okay, maybe not this one. Imagine this creature that stands erect like us, with 2 legs, 2 arms, a face that a mama can love.
It's so different than the other animals, all naked in certain areas and hairy in others.
Yes. Imagine another
Oh, that's slightly more pleasing.
that too stands up tall and walks in our image. I call them people.
And thus was the existence of people onto this earth, the creatures that would rule all other animals.
And so we turn our attention to our second story, the first man and the first woman down upon earth, with nothing but a bunch of animals constantly at each other's throat. Would they do any better? Now there was one tool that they had invented at this very early part of our history. And of course you know what the tool is. What was the first tool they invented? Feet. Yes. Of course, they had their human feet, but they invented the first prosthetic foot.
Honey, these animals are...
Yes, I know what we should do. We should put traps all around our living space so no animals can enter. Traps that snap.
And at once they set their trap.
Brilliant! Oh, these are pretty big.
And before they could place even the next trap, small animals began coming and engaging with the traps.
Look, there comes one now. Let's see if they work.
And it fell into the trap, and it snapped shut, crushing the animal.
The animal fell to the ground and split in 2.
But it's such a delight to see their traps working, they began to step into them themselves.
Immediately costing them both